How do humans evolve from small tree-climbing primates into the dominant species on Earth? Today, humans build cities, create technology, and even explore space. But millions of years ago, our ancestors were nothing more than vulnerable ape-like creatures struggling to survive in the forests of Africa. So how did that incredible transformation happen? The first human ancestors. Around 6 to 7 million years ago, the ancestors of modern humans separated from the ancestors of chimpanzees. At first, these early human ancestors looked very similar to apes. They spent much of their time in trees, had smaller brains, and lived in a world filled with predators. But Earth itself was changing. As Africa became drier, many forests slowly disappeared and large grasslands began spreading across the continent. This forced our ancestors out of the trees and into a much more dangerous environment. And that pressure would completely change human evolution.
Humans stood up. Living on open grasslands required a different way of surviving. Over many generations, our ancestors gradually began walking on two legs. This was one of the most important moments in human history. Walking upright allowed humans to see farther across the grasslands, travel longer distances, and free their hands for carrying food and objects. At first, this change didn't make humans stronger. In fact, humans were still weak compared to most predators. But evolution wasn't creating a stronger animal. It was creating a smarter one. The rise of the Homo genus. Millions of years later, new human species began appearing. One of the first was Homo habilis. Unlike earlier ancestors, Homo habilis started using simple stone tools. For the first time, humans could use objects to solve problems and improve their chances of survival. Then came Homo erectus. This species looked much more human than earlier ancestors. They had larger brains, longer legs, and were capable of traveling enormous distances. In fact, Homo erectus became the first human species to leave Africa and spread into other parts of the world. For the first time, humans were becoming explorers. Bigger brains changed everything. As human evolution continued, brains became larger and more advanced. Humans developed better memory, planning, communication, and problem-solving abilities. Unlike most animals, humans could learn from experience and pass that knowledge to others. Every generation started with the knowledge of the previous one. This created a powerful advantage. Instead of relying only on instinct, humans could adapt to new environments, changing climates, and unexpected challenges. Over time, intelligence became humanity's greatest survival tool. Other human species. Human evolution was not a straight line. For much of history, multiple human species existed at the same time. One of the most famous was the Neanderthals. They were stronger than modern humans and perfectly adapted to cold Ice Age environments. They hunted large animals, used tools, and lived in organized groups. There were also other human relatives, including the mysterious Denisovans. For thousands of years, different human species shared the planet together. But eventually, all of them disappeared. Only one species remained: Homo sapiens. The rise of Homo sapiens. Around 300,000 years ago, modern humans evolved in Africa. Compared to earlier humans, Homo sapiens were highly adaptable. They developed more advanced communication, stronger social cooperation, and increasingly complex cultures. Humans began creating art, sharing knowledge, and organizing themselves into larger groups. As a result, Homo sapiens spread rapidly across the world. They adapted to deserts, forests, mountains, frozen landscapes, and countless other environments. No other human species had ever achieved such success.